Here we are, backing up another trailer into the trailer trash. We're here to another Applesauce and Baloney. I'm Thor.
I'm Eric.
And lots more trailers, second episode trailer trash. We had a bunch of stuff drop in the last month. So
Holy moly, did we have a bunch of stuff drop in the last month. Oh, man. It's coming in hot.
Yeah. So we're going to break a few things down. Of course, as usual, we're not going to go crazy into detail. We're just going to kind of talk about the stuff that we liked. A couple weeks back, we talked about that we were going to attend the DC Fandome event via Oculus. I had a chance to do that. That was kind of neat. I wasn't blown away by the access in the Oculus. It was just kind of like going into a theater and standing around and watching a flat screen. I was hoping for something more VR, more
you and I had some fanboy fantasies about being able to like sit there with other avatars and be able to watch it like we were in a convention center, and it'll get there, but still some exciting stuff came out of that. We got a Batman trailer, we got Shazam, Black Adam.
Like you said, Shazam 2, we got a teaser for Black Adam. We got a teaser for Young Justice, the next season of Young Justice, teaser for Titan season 4. They talked about Harley Quinn, a bunch of other stuff. We got some stuff from Aquaman with Jason Momoa. That looks like it's going to be really cool. But of
course,
me
some Jason Momoa.
Yeah. And we got some stuff dropped about the Peacemaker series that's coming out with John Cena. For as much as I wasn't a huge fan of his character in the Suicide Squad, it looks like it's going to be a pretty goofy show.
Right, and again, spoiler alert, I'm a little bummed about the John Cena show because he dies in Suicide Squad 2. So it's well, why am I even watching this? But John Cena's highly watchable.
Did you not watch all the way through the end?
Wait, does he live?
Yes, he lives.
What?
Spoiler alert! Yeah.
I guess I need to rewatch the end of Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah, go back and what are you doing? What are you doing? Homework,
I don't do my
baby.
homework. You didn't tell me. You're the one who's supposed to tell me that there's.
Yeah.
No, I thought Idris Elba's character killed him.
Oh, he does, but at the very end, he's brought back back into the fold. And that show looks like it's going to be it's going to be bonkers. Obviously, it's James Gunn. It's John Cena. He brought an absolutely crazy character to the screen. There's CG eagles. It's going to be an absolutely bonkers show. I'm sure it'll be fun. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Batman. I want to talk about all the Batman.
Yes.
My
God.
Matt Reeves Batman.
I went from
we got Flash.
Zero to really excited for Batman. So
we'll start with Matt Reeves Batman. We've got a couple trailers here in the last month. We got the trailer from DC Fandome, and we've had another trailer with a little bit extra stuff in it. But oh man, if I had any doubts about Robert Pattinson being Batman,
I went from kind of meh to amazing. Really excited for this version of Batman. Love Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Oh my god,
awesome.
Oh my god, yeah.
The new Riddler. I mean, they're very much playing. It feels like a line between what Christopher Nolan did with Batman and what Tim Burton did with Batman, and they're going to find the middle ground. And I've read some stuff online, so I can't take total credit for this, but I have read the League of Owls, the Order of Owls series in the new 52 Batman restart that they did, and I do agree with some of the people online saying that this is going to be we're going to get deep into the Batman mythology with Robert Pattinson's Batman, and the reason
that's interesting.
The reason they're starting in with the Penguin and the Riddler and Catwoman is to set that up, because you couldn't do an origin story, and neither should they do. Yeah. We don't need another we don't just like we didn't need to see Tom Holland's character go through the with great power comes great responsibility. We also don't need to see the origin story of Batman anymore. We get it.
Stop killing the Waynes. You know, we don't.
Well, and if we're going to kill the Waynes, let's really get into why the Waynes got killed, and let's get into and the Order of the Owls series that they did in the comic books. If they are going to bring that into this Matt Reeves Batman world, I'm all for it because it brings a whole new element to Batman, his family, the Wayne family. It really it's a much more comprehensive story.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't read that, but that's really interesting because of. You know, we've talked in the past about how they've done a lot of stuff with DC and the TV shows and how the movies kind of seem to fight the TV shows. They did the Court of Owls in Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, Court of Owls, yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing new, nothing groundbreaking, other than the fact that it's going to be theatrical, it's going to be big.
Right. And I think it's the way to go. I think it's a new way to do it. I think, just the landscape is different now where it just can't be, oh, this guy has money. Well, there's demons attached to that money that Bruce Wayne and his family had. And there's a bigger story than just a kid whose parents were killed by a street criminal is tying it in, having it a whole conspiracy theory and having it come full circle, plays way more into it. And again, Robert Pattinson, it ends up perfect guy to play this because for all the, I am not a huge Twilight fan, but it plays into that. Like this is a legacy issue. Batman is not a one-off. It's almost like they did, like you referenced Gotham, that this has been a long time coming. That, it really is going to, it feels like this Matt Reeves Batman is going to really ask and answer, hopefully, the question, is Batman because of the villains, or did Batman create the villains?
Right, yeah. I mean, we've talked about that in a couple of things. They kind of address a little bit about that in the Harley Quinn show.
Which again, we're huge fans of, and we will do a whole Harley Quinn episode.
Yeah.
We are both huge fans of the new Harley Quinn show.
There's a lot to unpack with Harley Quinn, so that'll get its own thing. But so something else I wanted to kind of bring up before I forget about it, because I didn't know about it until just now when I was making my list of all the actors, so I made sure that I didn't forget their names. Jay, and I'm going to butcher his last name, Lycurgo. So the name isn't going to be familiar. And he's listed...
it's not familiar to me.
And he's listed as Thug, right? Mm-hmm. So here's where I'm slicing the baloney.
Ooh.
He is the character that plays Tim Drake on Titans.
Ooh.
So it's kind of interesting that we're going to get a character that portrays a pre-Robin in Titans.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get him in the Batman. Which kind of is interesting to me and kind of leads me a little bit into Flash territory with talking about Flashpoint.
And let's talk about, if we're talking about trailers, if this is trailer trash, let's definitely we'll get into Flash.
Yeah, so is DC gonna do what they should do, and are they gonna meld their properties?
I hope so. We've been asking for it.
Is Tim Drake gonna be the new Robin for this Batman? Are we gonna see that many Earths crisis happen in Flashpoint? Because we obviously are going to see two different Ezra Miller Flashes in the movie.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that in the comics they're doing a whole Batman '89 series about what would have happened had Tim Burton continued after Batman and Batman Returns, his third Batman movie, had it not been, taken over by Joel Schumacher and become, Batman Forever, or Batman and Robin.
Right.
Like if that went ahead, the Marlon the Damon Wayans Robin, which this new Tim Drake could be. They do go into how Harvey Dent, our Billy D. Williams Harvey Dent, became Two-Face, and how Tim Drake plays into that. And so I'm way excited if they are giving, and I think it's a business decision, smart thing to do, and it's a creative, for me, a fanboy, smart thing to do. Give me all the Batman and embrace the differences.
Well, and they're gonna give us all the Batman. We're getting Michael Keaton. We're getting Ben Affleck. There's been sightings of the stuntman and Batpod that was in the Christian Bale Batman. So we're gonna get all the Batman. I mean, there could even be a Robert Pattinson. Who knows? We could get literally all the Batman showing up in the Flash.
I mean,
getting a Flashpoint.
What if they brought in George Clooney? What if they CGI'd Val Kilmer in? What if they, let's give me all the Batman. Like we've said before, I will take all the Spider-Man. I will take all the Batman.
Yeah.
I will take, all the Superman. Make it happen. I think, and credit goes to the CW shows for DC for really being the glue. It might be Elmer's glue, but the glue that really holds the DC together in a way that gives them the opportunity to be embrace this. And going back to your Peacemaker thing, is I will take all the DC stuff and take those chances. That's the one thing, because it's so piecemeal and it's so all over the place. It's so scattershot what DC's trying to do opposite Marvel. It's too late for them to do a long game thing like Marvel does, like an end game. It's way more in their wheelhouse now to just go, nope, DC Universe is crazy. It's literally bat crazy. And we're just going to embrace it. And are you along for the ride? My answer, yes, I am. I mean, we could go into the Batman trailer intense. Definitely seems like Pattinson's Batman is a little Arkham Knight. I've seen some things online who'd win between all the Batmen. Well, Arkham Knight would obviously win because he's video game Batman.
Right.
But Pattinson's Batman is a badass. Like a guy straight up empties a clip of a machine gun into him, and he's just like, whatever, I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a different Batman.
Yeah. Well, this is vengeance Batman. This is not justice Batman. This is a Batman that is still living in his aggressive, I'm taking justice and vengeance phase.
He's angry.
Yeah.
He's a bad Batman.
I think Jeffrey Wright and Andy Serkis are going to be great foils for his Batman. I'm so excited to see.
Oh my God! How excited are you for Andy Serkis as Alfred? Oh my God! Please, and thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm super excited about all of it. I mean, Zoe Kravitz looks like she's going to be great. You mentioned the Penguin with Colin Farrell. Not always a Colin Farrell fan. What's he doing? It's crazy.
Dude, he does not even look like Colin Farrell. He does not even... I look and I look and I look and I try to see past the makeup and the character and everything, and I cannot see Colin Farrell. I'm just seeing this I'm just seeing this character, and that's what I the ultimate compliment to any actor who does a role is I do not see you. I see, like Jack Nicholson. Greatest Joker, him and Heath Ledger, greatest Jokers ever. But it's them. They're doing them. Whereas this
same with Danny DeVito.
Penguin,
same with Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is like what I think of when I think of the Penguin.
Yeah.
But man, does this just put the cherry on the sundae? I mean, it's great.
Oh man, that Batman trailer, I couldn't believe I've never gone in my life from 0-1 interest to 11 interest in a movie before this last Batman trailer. When the Penguin blows him up and he thinks he's beating him, and then all of a sudden the
car just comes out,
the badass old school hot rod Batmobile comes flying through the flames, and then Batman's walking up upside down. Like, I was like, whoo! I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah. So,
Bat
all right.
bumps.
Well, we keep saying we're going to talk about the Flash, and then we keep going to Batman. It just shows how excited we are.
Well,
for
but
Batman.
the Flash is obviously obvious. Like, I don't think we're wrong, because we will. Let's do Flash right now. But the Flash, it seems like it's going to be pretty heavy on Batman.
Yeah, I mean just like we've talked about before with Marvel being like the pillars are built on Iron Man. The pillars of DC are built on Batman. He carries the weight of it on his back.
He was the first. Yeah, I mean, well, really, Christopher Reeve's Superman is the first. But Batman is the one who... Batman's the one in the modern era. If you go from, like, 1989, which is 89 Batman, to Spider-Man, like, the superhero movie was carried by Michael Keaton, Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher's Batman before then. Yeah.
But, I mean, just... some of the visuals in this Flash, you mentioned with the Batman that you went from 0 to 100 with your excitement. I kind of did the same thing with Flash. Like there's been a lot of problems with this Flash movie, and it's been kind of wavering on and off for a long time.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, and I really had like zero hope for it. I'm like, okay, well, the Snyderverse is other than maybe Aquaman and another Wonder Woman movie, cool. The Snyderverse is dead. DC and Warner Brothers is, they stabbed it in the back after they drug it out and shook it in front of us again for a while, and then they stabbed it in the back and put it back in the closet. This could be redeeming that, because, man, does this look like it's going to be a fun movie. We're getting 2 Flash. We're getting 3 or 4 Batman. We got Supergirl. Tamora Morrison is going to be in it, so obviously we're getting some Aquaman tie-in. Because,
well, and that's why I'm thinking, just like you and I said when we first started this vlog, this YouTube podcast thing. I think it's in their interest, and I think that they are realizing that it's definitely it's in their interest to tie in. If they're going to end the Snyderverse or the dark DC future, then you have to at least pay homage to it, and you have to recognize that it exists. So if we're gonna have Aquaman, if we're gonna have Supergirl, it has to show us that there's a potential future, and that future might be different than what we've seen before, but it'll still be canon,
Right.
So
right.
So to go back to really dive into the Flash. I love that it seems to me, and we've talked about this a little bit off camera, it seems to me like they're going to do an alternate version of Ezra Miller's Flash as the Reverse Flash, instead of him being like they did it in the CW show.
Right. I don't know if I agree with you on that. I don't know if I'm on board with the Reverse Flash idea, although I think that's a great concept to have Ezra Miller as Barry Allen play the Reverse Flash. I don't know if we're going there.
So what we're referencing is, if you've seen the trailer for the Flash, there's a scene where Michael Keaton's voice is explaining to them, like, are you willing to trade all of reality for this one reality you're trying to save? And then we see a buff, more angry, like more like roided out Barry Allen, played by Ezra Miller, and then we see Ezra Miller as we know him, the skinny, nerdy Ezra Miller from The Flash. And what I think they're going to do is that we're going to have the buff, angry Flash is going to go back and use his Flash powers to do that, and Barry Allen's going to have to stop him. And 89 Batman and Batfleck Batman are going to have to try to it might be the Flash movie might just be a war, but and again, this I'm assuming a lot that if you're watching this thing that you understand a lot of what's gone on in the comic books, because in the comic books we've done a dark Batman in Flashpoint that is Batman's father, who uses guns and is murderous. And I think that's one way this show could go. But from the trailer is definitely leading me to believe that Batman's still good, but he's maybe that gray neutral where he's going to say, hey, you've got the Flash powers. you go figure out what you want to do. And I think one Flash takes the Batman armor and goes and becomes Bat Flash, Reverse Flash, to try to save his mother, fuck the rest of the universe. Or we're going to have Ezra Miller's Flash, who has experienced the dark universe,
right,
and is going to try to fight that Flash, and maybe even have 2 or 3 different Batmans fighting each other. Because again, DC, and I've said this from the beginning of our podcast, YouTube thing, please steal from what Marvel is doing, because you're not stealing, it's just comic book lore. And so having different versions of yourself fight for reality, I'm all for it.
Yeah. And we got that in Endgame. Obviously we got the battle of the Captain America, which was fun. I mean, if
right, so
what
if
you
DC
say
doubles down on that, great.
Yeah, if what you say is how it plays out, I'm totally on board for watching that movie. I'm on board for whatever they're doing. It looks exciting to me. They got me. I wasn't interested. I'm interested. Congratulations, DC. You got another ticket sale, apparently.
Exactly. Well, and then moving on through DC stuff, like we've got Shazam and Black Adam, and there's a superhero buff beef going on. A fun buff beef going on between Zachary Levi and The Rock and Dwayne Johnson about who's more badass there and who could beat up who. And
I guess Henry Cavill's in on that too, because I guess The Rock attacked Superman too. So
and if Henry Cavill's going in, that's a big I'm excited. Please come back and do Superman, because I can't think of anybody. If they have to reboot the Snyderverse, the dark DC future, the Injustice storyline that they borrowed from the video games, then I can't think of anybody that can do Superman better than Henry Cavill right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the Michael B. Jordan movie just picked up some new writers, so that's got some legs on it. So that's interesting.
But that's a whole different thing. But I'm way into the Michael B. Jordan alternate Superman, and that's what I'm saying is DC having been so piecemeal and so random in the way they're creating their cinematic universe, is I think now, instead of trying to continually reboot, is just go with it being a multiverse on the DC end, having it being a multiverse in chaos from the beginning, and going opposite direction of what Marvel's doing. Whereas Marvel started out was, there's this one timeline and there's this thing, and now through Loki and and WandaVision, we're realizing now it's a mess because the Avengers did their time heist. It's a mess.
Yeah.
I can definitely see. I think it's wise because, again, like we've said from the beginning, I love comic books. I want them both to succeed. So if they take different tracks and they cross and go opposite of each other, where DC is going from darkness and chaos, trying to get to the light, Shazam, Zachary Levi DC that you and I want, and Marvel goes from light and funny to, Iron Man, ha ha ha, to really dark and complicated. Great. I think perfect.
So, kind of wrap up our DC stuff. One of the things they announced is the Batman the Caped Crusader cartoon. It's going to be Bruce Timm. It's kind of picking up with the same life that the Batman animated series had, but he has been working with Matt Reeves. So it's going to be a little bit more tied into what we're going to get in the Batman. It's going to be a little darker.
And if you're not a super nerd like us, then Bruce Timms is a huge. He was a major influence, creative force on Batman the Animated Series. We'll talk more about it in the Harley Quinn series, but my personal baloney is that the Batman Animated Series and Harley Quinn, the new Harley Quinn show, are in the same universe.
Right.
So lots to talk about there. Lots of good stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see DC getting there. I'm very happy for them. I want good Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, all the DC. Give me all the DC. Bring in Lobo. Like, get me some Lobo.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to go a little long today, but there's a lot to talk about. I want to talk about Disney stuff. We got a Lightyear trailer. And oh man,
gosh,
does that look cool. You know, we're getting Chris Evans as the legit Buzz Lightyear of Space Command. You know, it's not a live action movie. It's still animated, but they've stylized it enough to make it not look like he's still a toy.
It very much is. And I wanted to talk to you about that. That's a really good point. Like, the stylization of it being a Pixar movie, but not looking exactly like the Toy Story movies, I think is wise. But also opens up a whole Pandora's box of questions for me about the Pixar connected universe as a whole.
The Pixar theory. Yeah.
The Pixar theory. If you know what we're talking about, it's that all the Pixar movies are connected or somehow in the same world, and there's a weird timeline. You've probably seen it on Reddit. If you're watching our show, you have to have come across this at some point. But that somehow, like, WALL-E and Toy Story and Cars and even Brave and Cars and all the Pixar movies are somehow connected in the same universe. I have a lot of questions about this Lightyear movie, but we'll get into it after it comes out. But I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, they didn't give us a lot in the trailer. It's more of a teaser. Right now we only know that Chris Evans is in it. Obviously, there's other people in it. There's other voices. But man, it looks like it's going to be just awesome. Super excited. We're going to jump into Netflix because we got a couple things that dropped on Netflix. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. Oh, man.
Cowboy Bebop, baby.
So,
yeah.
This has been a long time coming.
Woo! We haven't done a lot of Netflix on this show. This is definitely one we'll bring my brother Max in on because he is a Cowboy Bebop expert.
Yeah.
I talked to him earlier today. He said he will watch it. He's excited. He has some concerns about the fight choreography. I'll forgive that because I think if you're budgeting the show and you're like, well, we have to do these special effects, we need to do the editing. If you're going to lose something, you know, maybe the fight choreography isn't what you want.
Right.
But I was blown away by how true they were to the source material, but also very much doing their own thing.
Yeah. And I want to see where that division is because, you know, in this last trailer we got, there's some scenes out of there that legit just look like somebody took a still frame out of the anime.
Yes.
You know,
well,
the guy with the machine guns.
The clown guy from the amusement park.
Yeah.
He's in it. So are they going to mishmash stuff? Are they gonna are those little bits Easter eggs? Did they pick and choose some scenes to show like Cowboy Bebop fans what they think they want to see? But I definitely get the feeling like whatever they're gonna do, it's gonna be toying the line between paying homage, but also doing its own thing.
Yeah. And you know, I'm a big fan of John Cho. I love that they picked him to play Spike Spiegel. I'm excited for Mustafa Shakir. He looks great as Jet. I kind of agree a little bit with the internet on Daniela Pineda with Faye. She doesn't look exactly how I expected Faye to look, but again, I don't have a problem with that. We're doing our own thing. Faye's got to be different. Everything gets updated for what we're doing today. So I'm sure she's going to be great.
I guess I disagree
we just haven't
with
seen
you.
enough of her
I guess I disagree with you and everybody on the internet. I thought that her Faye was exactly Faye. Like I felt exactly the same way about Faye from the trailer that I would feel when I first met her in the show.
I just haven't seen enough of it. I'm sure she's going to be brilliant, just like everybody else. I'm not saying she's going to be bad. I'm not saying I hate her. I'm just saying that maybe I haven't seen enough of it to really grab it and be like, yeah, that's great. You know, just like we didn't see in any of the other material, we didn't see any bits of Ein until this press material that just came out this last week.
Right.
Now we know that there's an Ein. We still haven't seen an Ed. So it'll be interesting if they leave Ed out or if they bring an Ed in. Since we're obviously getting everybody else. We're getting Julia and Vicious and, I mean, it is the show.
I think it's important. I think it's important for people like us and nerds who are into this kind of thing. Like, and this goes for Batman. This goes for Cowboy Bebop. This goes for when we go from format to format, from animated, from comic book to live action. I think it's wise to pay homage to the source material, but I think it's a mistake to be a slave to it. And I think
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of letting go, and it's hard. It's not easy, but as a fan, and that's what Applesauce and Baloney is all about, is us being fans and lovers of, is us letting go of our expectation of what, because it would be boring and it would be trite and it would be pointless, honestly.
Yeah,
if
it would be
the
Beauty and the
Bebop
Beast
show was just exactly. Yeah, sorry, Disney, but I'm not really interested in you doing exactly live-action redos of... Because, The Lion King, amazing.
Yeah,
but
it's
I'd rather
amazing
watch
looking.
The animated Lion King.
Absolutely. It's amazing looking. It bored me
It's
to tears
amazing.
because I'm like, where's the,
And nothing against Will Smith's Aladdin, but you're not Robin Williams, and
Right.
if you're going to just do a live-action version of this, like, I don't need to see it. Again, I'm a huge Will Smith fan, but yeah, just like don't. There's no point in redoing something animated as live action if you're just going to hit it point per point.
Yeah. So for as amazing and true to the anime as it looks, I do hope, like you said, that they take their liberties. They give us something that's different. They give us something
right. I want to be
stylized and new.
surprised. Please surprise me.
Yeah. So there's obviously not much more to talk about that. We only have the trailer. Last thing we're going to talk about is we got a drop of the the Masters of the Universe Revelations.
Oh my
season
god,
2.
dude! Did you see that? Like Skelegod.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
We didn't.
So basically, Skeletor and Evelyn are now the sorceress,
They're the Masters of the Universe.
And He-Man.
Yeah.
They are the Masters of the Universe, and like, holy moly, like, I have varying opinions of Kevin Smith, but he knocked it out of the park with He-Man. He definitely he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, as far as a He-Man show goes,
he killed it.
That gives you all the things that you want from the old He-Man show and a bunch of new stuff. Like, I heard the criticism. I heard people saying that they hate that it's fairly Teela-centric. I'm okay with it. I thought it was a great story arc.
All in.
Yeah,
all in.
Because this is obviously her story. They've set up that she started off as just, a guard. She knew Adam, but she's obviously, like they set up in the comics, she's the daughter of the sorceress. Right. They're setting her up to be the new sorceress. They're obviously they showed us that He-Man can harness the power without the sword of power. Turn into this crazily beastly He-Man.
How much did you lose your shit at the very end with Orko? That's my big thing, where they showed so much in this part 2 of Revelation that I was like, man, you're giving it all away.
Yeah.
But I know better. I know better.
Yeah, I was really worried about that.
If they're giving that much away, then you know what makes my balonies hard is knowing that if they're giving that much away, what is left to surprise me? A lot.
Yeah. And I'm sure they have a lot. So.
But yeah, man, trailer's coming in hot, baby.
Yeah.
It's 2022 is gonna be a banner year for our generation and future generations of nerddom, of comic books, of fun popcorn movies. We're still working on our Dune thing. I don't feel right about doing it until I go see it in the theater, so that'll be coming up next week.
Yeah.
People are still talking about it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to Dune. The spice will flow.
Yeah, Dune and Eternals is coming up. If you're watching this on the release date, that means that the Eternals will be coming out this weekend.
This weekend.
So obviously we're not going to hit that right away. It'll probably be a week afterwards because we'll get the Dune out first. Then we get Hawkeye, we get Spider-Man. We keep harping on this, but we're excited about it.
Oh man!
And then it's just a roller coaster of content from there. Just like
DC, just like Marvel, we're going to be bringing in our own extended family of nerds, super nerds, to talk about this because Thor and I can't handle it on our own. But yeah, we hope you'll stick with us and tell a friend, like and subscribe. Applesauce and Baloney for 100 years.
100 episodes at least, yeah.
100 episodes.
Yeah. If we can make it that long. If you can put up with us for that long, please put up with us for that long.
So hopefully you're along for the ride.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Thor. That's Eric, Applesauce and Baloney. Until next time, we'll see you then.